Customers aren't just Googling cars anymore. They're asking ChatGPT, they're asking AI assistants things like, what's the best SUV under 40K?
They're basically doing all the homework before they ever reach out to a dealership.
The question is just shifting from, is your dealership ranking from Google, and now is it ranking inside of ChatGPT and other LLMs? Here's something I don't think dealers fully realize yet. Customers aren't just Googling cars anymore. They're actually asking ChatGPT, they're asking other AI assistants things like, what's the best SUV under 40K? What SUVs have third row seats before they ever even land on your website? So the question becomes, if AI is answering the question first, where does the dealership show up in all this? Welcome back to the Car Dealer AI Show. Today we're talking about AEO, or what most people call answer engine optimization. So similar to SEO and search engine optimization. And this is what it means exactly for dealerships right now. How are consumers actually using tools like ChatGPT in their car shopping journey today?
Yeah, it's already happening, whether dealers realize it or not. I think I'd like to say most dealers understand the importance of this, and hopefully they're prioritizing it. But customers obviously aren't just Googling vehicles anymore. They're asking AI real questions, stuff like, what's the best SUV under 40K? Which truck holds its value the longest? Does it make more sense to lease or finance right now? And they're getting those answers instantly. They're comparing vehicles, they're narrowing down their choices, they're basically doing all the homework before they ever reach out to a dealership. So by the time they actually call, submit a lead, or walk into a showroom, they already know what they want. They're not starting the process, they're finishing it. And that's the shift. Dealers aren't just competing for attention on Google anymore. They're competing to be a part of the answers people get from AI. So, John, I'll toss it back to you. How do you see that changing the way dealerships think about their online presence and marketing?
Yeah, I think a lot of this is obviously your marketing agency should be handling this. I don't know exactly if this makes SEO and AEO or SEO easier or more difficult. I definitely think it adds a whole nother layer of things because there's a totally different way to optimize for these chat engines. And another thing that I think in terms of how the consumer journey is going to work is there's already been a massive trend of consumers doing most of their research before they even hit the showroom floor. But now they're doing even more research because it's even easier. They don't have to jump up and do car comparisons on Edmunds all the time or look at every single vehicle. They can just hit chat and then vocalize their exact need and family situation and figure out what vehicle they're going to need. And then ChatGPT is really good at validating and persuading you to go one direction. They may just be sold on one specific car. So now the question that always has come up is my dealership ranking number one on Google? And now that really question turns into, is my dealership ranking number one on ChatGPT? I don't know if we have to be part on the tier 3 level, part of the actual research process. I think tier 1 is going to still own that, and that's okay. But questions that you really should be asking to your marketing agency is your inventory structured with proper schema markup? This has always been a question, but now this is actually transitioning to LLM specific markup, which is still schematic markup, but a very niche element of this, what they call LLM.txt file. So most dealerships aren't familiar with this right now. Your marketing agencies should be, but I bet you that most marketing agencies are still sticking to their processes and routines that they've had for over a decade now. Is your website actually crawlable by LLMs? There are reporting tools now that are doing those types of what we used to call ranking reports, but actually LLM ranking reports in some ways. Are
Yeah.
your vehicle listings structured semantically or just dumped into templates? Do we have FAQ pages that answer real buyer questions conversationally? I think this is probably the biggest one. Is Google has always just ranked data really quick, and if it's structured, then it's really well. Well, LLMs are more conversational, so they actually pick up on those types of things. The best way to be conversational without being wordy inside of your website are going to be FAQs of just actually giving the questions and giving the answers, because that's what's happening in there. So at the end of the day, the question is just shifting from, is your dealership ranking from Google, and now is it ranking inside of ChatGPT and other LLMs?
Well, another thing that comes to mind, if more and more customers or shoppers or just online searches are in LLMs or like ChatGPT, like where does that position? I know ChatGPT and OpenAI has their own browser called Atlas. Do you think at some point people will start to migrate over to that if they're already using OpenAI to search for things? And I personally haven't seen a lot of migration over to Atlas, but I wonder if that trend will start to change. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think that Atlas, my opinion as Atlas sits today, is Atlas is the Safari of OpenAI. It is the tool that, like, by default, you'll just end up using. It's just like right now, we don't notice it all the time, but we actually use a whole nother browser that nobody even knows the name to. I don't know the name to, but it's like Facebook's browser. Is Facebook wants to keep you inside of their environment. So they used to send you out into your default browser, Google Chrome, but now they just keep you in their environment. I will say that as somebody who tries to just adopt all the AI tools right away, I downloaded Atlas right when it came out. I was trying to use it. I plugged in all my bookmarks. I was like fully committed, and I only lasted a few weeks because I was like, Google's just better. And then I think what's happening is Google's just taking like those types of things that these AI companies are implementing and putting it in there. Like right now, I love the Gemini feature. I don't know how many people have used it, but a lot of times when you're on a website, you're seeing an article, there's the little Gemini stars, and you just click that and say, hey, just give me the top points from this article. And you're not even reading the content anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, because I did the same. I downloaded Atlas and just never used it. And
Yeah.
I'm still on Google. I'm still using Gemini. So it'd be interesting to see where OpenAI takes that. And whether I personally don't think the opening of it did them any good. But that's just my personal opinion on it.
Yeah. And even like, what are people doing on Atlas? They're probably going to Google.
Yeah.
They're still going to google.com. And it'd be interesting to just see. I think a lot of things are really being rethought. And for a while people have said that Apple won't release any sort of new device, like phones are just phones, and there's no innovation. And now they're releasing these little blocks that are just audio blocks that just listen and watch all day long, and then give you feedback and give you information that you don't have to jump on your phone now to Google. It's like they're proactively answering the questions that you haven't even thought to ask yet.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, if you want more of these AI topics specific in automotive and or geared towards car dealerships, we have just launched our newest Facebook group, AI and Automotive. There's already incredible conversations happening there. Also, conversations are happening in the comment section below. So please ask any questions there. We're always looking for more topics. We spend hours just mining the web to figure out what new things are happening, so that way we can bring them to you and you don't have to do that level of research. So if you have ideas, put those in the comment section below, like and subscribe to our channel, and we will talk to you soon.